I'm just being in love. 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 When I met you, I didn't care about love. Didn't think that I would ever fall in love. Didn't know that we were so compatible. Simple, letting go. Oh, what a leader on the edge of heart. I met a man that tears apart. It tears apart. No, they don't know what it takes to be in love. They don't know what it takes to be in love. They don't know what it takes to be in love. Oh, we both know what it takes. We both know what it takes to be in love. They don't know what it takes. They don't know what it takes to be in love. They don't know what it takes to be in love. Oh, we both know what it takes. We both know what it takes to be in love. This is something I can't control it. How you feeling? I just can't call it. I just know how I feel inside. I got love on my mind. You know that I just adore you, and you know that I'll come before you. I just know how you feel inside. I got love on my mind. I'm just being in love. 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 overboard. Yeah, fall was so amazing. Found that you've been facing. Pressure, I was patient. Record breaking. Hold up.
Happy Sunday, y'all. Hope y'all are having a great day. I know I'm having a great day. Kind of great day I'm having. Well, it's kind of gray outside. Got some stew on the stove. The house smelling good on this good Sunday afternoon. Everyone's happy. All the pets and the children. Now tell me what kind of day you're having today. Hey viewers, go ahead and shout yourselves out in the chat. Thank you for stopping in. I'm coming on camera in just a bit. How y'all doing today? My hair is wet, y'all don't judge me. I'm just a dripping minute. That's the kind of Sunday I'm having. Slosh day. Slosh day. Hey, strolling through. How you doing? Turn these headphones down a little bit. Yeah. There we go. That's the kind of Sunday we're having. Y'all go ahead and like the episode. If you haven't already, subscribe to the QS Queen Sanaa. Thank you very much. And let me know if you can hear me too. You know, I forgot to do one thing. Got something for you. I'll be right back. I think we're good now. You just strolling through? Well, you know I love the support either way. So today we're going to get into it. And just start with a little video in just a second. There we go. Let's get some visuals going. This is what I want to show y'all because I don't know if you've ever had a chance to see the Spoken Guns female cipher. Ooh, I am dripping. Anywho, Spoken Guns female cipher, put on by Tommy Sr. and several really dynamic female MCs, myself included, got together and we did this cipher. And since there's another one coming up, I figure I'd bless y'all with the previous one. So get in that chat and tell me what you think. Profanity warning, profanity warning. Here we go.
Shout out to the queen. Master charm on the cipher. Yeah, I'm shitting on them. Go ahead and grab a diaper. Pain bring the rain, but I'ma turn on my wipers. My target is the top, so I'm aiming like a sniper. Life kicked me down, but it turned me to a hiker. Heard you got the crown, well you gotta meet the swiper. Stand in my lane, I'm taking off like a viper. Put me in the corner, you ain't know I was a fighter. Said I won't gon' make it, why I turned you to a liar. Spitting gasoline at a beat and it's a fire. Don't cry about my L's, I don't need no pacifier. Shooting for the stars, I'm on stage and on fires. Learn from my mistakes and let my pressure push me high. Heritage, bad bitch, part queen in my DNA. I pray for you, but still get you body like I'm Beyonce. I'm built for this, your average will crumble up like Frito-Lay. But if I fall off, I'm bouncing back like I'm delay. I used to slap him, now I meditate on it like namaste. I got him woke, these hoes are sleeping on me like pajama day. Want it, then it's worth the fight, at least that's what my mama say. I'm fighting for that green like I'm Milwaukee, but not from the Bay. Midwest in my veins, in my blood. If I leave them, then they blue like that boy banging cuz. Keep it real, keep it true in my veins, in my blood. Only vibe amongst the realest, what the fuck you thought it was? Nina! Shout out to the queen. We living our dream. We taking it over.
Realizing the realism of life in actuality. Y'all both fully approaching which your notion equals tragedy. Fuck who's the baddest, I lead the status on massive casualties and tip across the palace uncallous. Straighten my crown with ease, at ease. Y'all simmer down for this delivery. Your style dead like chivalry. My pen revives the energy, annihilates the friendly frenemies and darker entities with sense of synergies. You better off being a friend to me, cause I'm phenomenal. Listen, the hottest goddess, and you've been warned to play your position or end up missing. So move over, little bastard. You spot it now, it ain't no skating past it. I sit the flame to leave you in your casket.
I made a vow that I would never touch the mic without a premise. I gotta prove to the world my skin is not a blemish. Or just because my bosom kinda saggy, I ain't finished. Spontaneous combustion, all these bars when I'm the chemist. Climbing up the mountainside, you see me creeping up. Hide behind the fortress, take your aim and press your luck. Walking in your grass or getting dirt all in my chucks. And if you got a problem, well then I'll kick you butt. What up, calculate? What up, bull? They wondering what I'm teaching them in school. Instructing them to grow into an undivided power. Cause they will stay in on this side and clock by the hour. Shout out to the queen. Making it a crime scene. All my ladies, they killing it, killing it, killing it, killing it. Yo, most consistent with the vintage, it's the master OG. Humble, but I'm boasting low key. Better get to know me slowly, invasive until your throne is just a vacancy. I get down with a crown, better wait, low, hey, come around and I that pronoun. It's me, temptations and patient to test my stroll. Rest they whole existence, I'm resistant to the typical mode. The least you could be with me is beast mode. Beat those unworthy by feasting on cheaters of the G code early. I intimidate, surely it's what I aim for. Blast into the speakers, tip your tweet is what it's made for. This is what my family prayed for. Watch me fully bless my father, so with breath control, I flex and riches of the flesh. Yes, yeah. Don't let me get emotional. Feeling like a queen amongst queens all in my circle. Feeling like a takeover soon, about to burst through. Feeling like got the vibe that it's supposed to. Yeah, real queens on some wild shit. Real boys, real face, we only ride cockpit. Yeah, they say I'm selfish cause they say Flitty gon' pop shit. Truth be told, it would be Flitty let you see me pop shit. I'm a MC in my own right. I'm reppin' Izzy, yeah, you damn right. I took the toys while future mad bright. Headed to the top and ain't no stopping at the stoplights. They gon' hate you cause you confident, but you're resilient, you don't give a shit. This the spoken gun sniper, real bosses, real queens on some thriller and vanilla shit. Fuck. Shout out to the queen, making it a crime scene. We taking it over, over, over.
So yeah, that was the Smoking Guns Queen Cipher was really fun. And just putting a bug in your ear. There will be a part 4 coming up soon. Those are really some phenomenal ladies, by the way. Mosca Flux is currently doing battle rap, which I think is really interesting. I wouldn't, because you know, I think that I'm the kind of person that would get there and be super hype and then get dusted and then get angry. And so, just being honest, I'd rather just do my work in the studio or, live on stage. So, yeah, some feedback. Thank you, y'all, for chiming in, strolling through, sent some flames. And Travis, Rough House Party Bus Reffin, says nice. By the way, Travis Ruffin has an awesome party bus situation. So y'all link up if you're interested and if you're in the Alamance, Guilford, Mecklenburg area. Really nice setup. Let's see. So today's topic was initially about parenting exceptional or neurodivergent children, early childhood advocacy, and the single parent epidemic. Well, initially it was a poverty epidemic, but my guest unfortunately got sick. So I think that I would like to do an all about Queen Sanaa day if you're interested. And if you still want to hear about these particular topics, we can go in that direction. So let me know in the comments what you want to hear about today. I will start by saying I do have 2 children with special needs, my twins. My son is on the autism spectrum, and recently I've heard that they're calling it neurodivergent, kind of to work through that. What's the word? It's a stigma that comes with the word autism, and just a perception that people immediately get. Whereas my son is, I would say his IQ is really high. His perception is really high, but the way he processes is just really different from most people. So that's where the neurodivergence comes in, which has caused me to just really advocate for the needs of children who are exceptional children and all children. Y'all know things tend to be a little unbalanced when it comes to children that look like myself and those who weren't born with the big bag of money as well. So, just lots of different things to consider with early childhood. But yeah, back to this, who is Queen Sanaa? I will say this. She's looking fluffy up there. I'm a mom, I'm an artist, I'm a fashion designer, I'm a woman, with woman thoughts and feelings, and I kind of tend to make things wherever I go. Quick plug, Savvy Essentials oil here, just feeling a little unmoisturized, so pardon me, I'm going to moisturize just a bit. A little bit about this oil. It has vitamin D and some natural plant-based ingredients. Very good for your skin, good for your hair. It's my after shower pre-podcast. You see that glow? Y'all see the glow. So get into the Savvy Essentials oil. It also helped me get this fluff back fluffy. I'm just going to tell y'all, every time I cut my hair off, the Savvy Essentials oil. So if you're interested, go ahead and send me a message. Hey, Patrice on Purpose, how are you doing? Good to see you. If you are interested in some Savvy Essentials oil, $7 for the small bottle, $15 for the big bottle. The big one is 3.4 ounces. Send me an email. Make sure to get that to you. Now, back to the conversation about what do you want to hear today? Y'all let me know. You want to hear about who is Queen Sanaa, or do you want to hear about some of these other topics today? This parenting exceptional children, early childhood advocacy, the single parents epidemic. And it is an epidemic for single moms and single dads, I would say. People just don't seem to want to be in it for the long haul these days. Understandably in some cases, but I don't want to get too controversial. I know a lot of things that I'm hearing about men not dating single moms is a perception of a lack of responsibility. So if you are putting yourself in a position to become a single mom, you can't possibly be that responsible. I mean, there is some accountability there, right? Because you are choosing the person you're having children with. And of course, you can't foresee the future, right? So I think that there is some misperception about that. I don't think anybody shows up and says, "Hey, I'm going to make you a single mom," or "Hey, this job that I have, I'm going to quit it and leave you with all of the responsibilities." It's just a lot of controversial discussion there. Another thing that I've heard a lot is people don't want to have to deal with ignorant baby daddies or ignorant baby mamas. I mean, I don't want to deal with any ignorant people, so that's totally understandable. There's been a lot of discussion about children being better off with their moms up until the age of 3, and then with their dads past the age of 3. It's because moms kind of get the essentials done, the changing of diapers, making of the meals, etc. But dads kind of like form stronger relationships with their children outside of the specific needs of the essentials and everything. Having grown up with both of my parents, I have a little bit of insight into that. I know it's different for everybody. Some dads, some moms don't need to be around their children at any age, unfortunately. But, anyway, I don't want to get into that too much. What's up with my comment section? Y'all quiet out there. All right, let's see. I think I want to show y'all another video then. My show now. Hey, I'm back. Okay, Patrice on Purpose says children need both parents. However, the same gender parent has the most influence. I've heard that at times. I've heard that a woman can't raise a boy into a man, uh, and that a man can't raise a girl into a woman. I've also heard that women kind of can teach a boy how to treat women, right? I was watching this podcast earlier. Hey, Ja, how you doing? Thank you for checking in. I was watching this podcast earlier where the woman was basically saying, well, if your son is disrespectful to women, your grown son, you're a single mom, and you raised him this way, you're responsible. Why did you not raise him to know how to talk to women and know how to talk to people, period? I thought that was interesting because as a single mom, I also believe that you have the ability to put people in your children's lives to uh, help them gain those skills, help them gain coping tools, help them learn how to interact with people, um, and just become better people. That's not just about parents. I don't know if you all had seen the episode my 22-year-old was on, but one thing that she shared was having both parents and a village, not just a mom and a dad, were what allowed her to have that well-roundedness. It's not just your parents who teach you who and how to be. It's the people that are in your life, the people that are around you. So we also had a discussion last week about 50-50, which seems to be a really hot topic right now. And I was watching Michelle Obama earlier. Say what you will about her. This is not political, but just a conversation about 50-50 and about the selfishness of modern women. So you all take a look if I can get that up here. So that to me, that's a deep discussion. Okay. Patrice says, I agree, your village, parents being the head is super important. Ja says, say that. It takes more than two to raise children. Children are literally the society we'll be living in the next 10 to 20 years. Yes, it's everyone's responsibility. Strolling through says, you. Say more about that, strolling through. I would. Okay, so yeah, that's an interesting discussion about the 50-50 from a single parent perspective, right? Because people always ask, well, if you have children and you're fully responsible for the children, are you able to put anything in the relationship anyway? Which was interesting because in the same interview, Michelle Obama speaks to how their own children, once they're born, come in and kind of disrupt things. So it's not just necessarily being a single mom, but being a parent, period. And whether or not you're able to still, uh, yeah, there was a video. We just watched it. Did y'all not see the video? I'm sorry. Did it not come up? Let me know because that would be super embarrassing if the video didn't come up. But yeah, she was just saying that 50-50 is kind of, okay. I'm gonna have to figure that out, y'all. I'm still new to this, but 50-50 is somewhat of a myth because she is basically just saying there will always be a time when one person is doing more than the other. And so I'm taking it back to the single parent thing, and I would love for y'all to talk about this in the chat. Do you believe that a single parent is able to really give in a relationship uh, the way maybe it should be done when you have to be concerned with the needs of your child regularly? I'm not sure what happened with that video thing, but yeah, that was embarrassing. But yeah, let me know what y'all think about that. Do you believe that a single parent can really pour into a relationship and be fully present? Ja says, from my own lived experience, no. Say more about that. And I agree with you. Not as much as needed, says strolling through. Not as much as needed. And so while y'all elaborate on that a little more, my question is if you are not a single parent, but in a relationship with the person you have children with, can you pour into the relationship then? And what is the difference? And while you all talk about that in the chat, I'll play a little music. It's Sunday. It's the wheels fall off kind of day. Let's talk a little more about that. What is the difference, in your opinion? While y'all talk about that, I'm going to figure out this video situation. I think I got it. I think I got the video, y'all. Let's see. Let's see what happens. I just want to share this. I don't know. It was impactful to me. Oh, it's too big. That's funny. Oh, I'll leave it. Strolling through what I was asking you all was mostly about the difference between being a single parent trying to be in a relationship and are you able to really give to the relationship, or being with the person you have children with and still being able to give in the relationship. As I was saying in this video, I'm just going to drop the link in the chat because it doesn't want me to play it for you all. But in this video, she was basically saying that even in a relationship with each other, once they started having children, it was really difficult for them to really put into each other the way they used to. So take a look and a listen. I think at some point she also said that that 50-50 expectation was unrealistic. It's like a constantly shifting power dynamic. And, I see that shift in parents and children. I see that shift in coworkers, right? I see that shift in interpersonal relationships all around. So I'm going to go back to this parenting of exceptional children, whether they are neurodivergent children, children with special needs, etc. And just looking at some of the statistics of special needs children in America. A lot of information on that. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I don't see anything about the whole entire US. Yes, here we go. About 1 in 6, or 17% of children aged 3 through 17, have one or more developmental disabilities, uh, being conditions that are due to an impairment in physical, learning, language, or behavior areas. And yes, behavior concerns are considered a developmental disability these days because it can cause issues with day-to-day function. So I think it's important to know that. Hey, Anthony Taylor, thank you very much for popping in. Love the show. Appreciate that very much. So, strolling through says having children always changes the dynamic of a relationship, changes attention, time, lust, etc. That is the absolute truth. And so, the difference in being a single parent with those children and in being in a relationship with that children is not always so different, aside from just y'all are together raising y'all kids, right? And I wonder if people really think about that going into the relationship. Going back to this children of special need, well, with special needs, I have read in a lot of places that having children with special needs actually will be the reason why relationships end. It's kind of unfortunate, but I wonder if there's a way to kind of have that discussion before you all have children, so if our child is born with A, B, C, or D issue, what is our plan for working through it? How do we support each other? How would we go about using our support system with each other? Just lots of different ways that you can consider what it's going to look like over time. And I don't know, I don't think we're having enough of those discussions with each other before we choose to have children. Hey, Opulent Jade, thank you. Thank you very much. And thank you for being here. So Joss says, by and large, the single parent is and should be fully invested in their child. And the partner who isn't the parent of that child may not be able to lead with that. Well, that makes a lot of sense. And Strolling Through says, understanding, love, and patience helps. That's absolutely true. I don't believe that a lot of people are aware of what it takes to parent a child with special needs. And I have friends that have gotten married and were so super excited about being married. And, 6-7 months later, you start to see the Facebook posts, which I'm not going to ever co-sign on posting about everything you're going through. And that's just looking back at my posts in the past, like, I should have wrote that down, right? But long story short, just talking about how a child's behavior has really ruined things, and typically marrying a single mom and just in hindsight realizing that the child may have had severe ADHD, which is a thing, by the way, even if we don't agree with the name of it. It's just a way of processing, and it affects one's behavior and their memory and their interactions, right? Or the child may have had some trauma issues, and it was just too much for the new spouse, and just, I'm not doing this. I feel disrespected in my own home where I'm paying bills and, making sure people are eating. And so I'm not investing in this anymore, which is really sad for the child, especially since in that situation, just having 2 adults in the house may be what that child needs. Joss says, their interest may be you, but not as much your child, which for the parent might not and should not be acceptable. That's definitely understandable. You definitely want someone to have interest in your child, especially when you have interest in your child, right? And even in some marriages, we definitely have seen where one parent is really not fully invested. So that's unfortunate. And I think that's more of a people issue than it is a single or not single issue, right? So why is there a single parent epidemic? Does anybody have any idea? Feel free to weigh in on why you believe there are so many single parents. And I'm not just talking about single moms, just single parents, period. Some statistics say that it's because of an increase in births to unmarried women. Some statistics say because of the increasing prevalence of divorces, which, just keeping in mind, single parents don't always start off single, right? One website says premarital sex caused by a loosening of morals in society. It's hilarious, and I can co-sign that one. Back in 2018, there was a statistic that said 1 in 4 parents living with a child today are unmarried. That's a lot. Parents are under no obligations to stay together. So did you all hear about that new law in Indonesia? Where if you have premarital sex, you will be breaking the law. It's a crime. It's a crime to have an affair, adultery. It's a crime even if you're a tourist visiting the place. If you go to the place and you have sex with one of the locals, you will be breaking the law. Some people say that's absurd. And some people say, good, because maybe we'll decrease all these single parents, right? Anthony Taylor says people just don't like to commit. and that people really don't value relationships anymore. I can see that. And I can also see that there's like a narrative of, well, for women, of we really have to be married. We really have to be chosen. We really have to be in relationships. There's something wrong with you if someone doesn't want to be with you, or you really have to put your values down as long as someone chooses you, right? For me, that equates to a severe lack of self-love. That's just my opinion. And then for the men, it's like you got to really rack up the honeys. Like you just have to have, a lot of women. So it's just definitely a disconnect between the men and the women and those perspectives. Josh said it's technically a crime in some U.S. states to have marriage, sex outside of marriage. Actually, that's very true. There are a lot of sexual acts that are a crime in the United States. They just don't tend to prosecute people, right? But can you imagine going to prison because you had sex outside of marriage? Listen, a lot of us will be guilty. A lot of us will be locked up for a long time. So Travis Roughhouse, Party Bus Ruffin, says marriage isn't a requirement anymore. And that is true. That's true for a lot of reasons. So there was a time when women could not get jobs, women could not get homes on their own. Well, yes, the honeys. Women could not do a lot of things without a man back in the day. It was a real thing. Women were considered property. Unfortunately, and so we could not function without being tied to a man, without his name on something. I don't know when that changed. I don't know what changed it, but I do know that that's the reason for a long time that marriage was actually such a big thing for people. I also know that there's a lot of controversy behind independent women versus dependent women, right? And let's just be honest. Does anyone really want to have to depend on someone else, right? I don't mean in the I don't need no man sense. I promise you I don't. I honestly can't stand hearing it. But I also know that there is something inherently wrong with basing your entire life on whether or not someone else can take care of you. So maybe it's the verbiage, I don't need no man, that's an issue. But for your entire life to be based on needing someone else, that's also an issue, right? So what can you do for yourself? And then there's a conversation about what can you bring to the table, right? So can you tie your own shoe? Do you know how to cook, right? Are you capable of pumping gas? So these are important conversations as well. And let's see. What did you say? Women's suffrage. Yeah, change that for, yeah. So women of our culture have always worked. Yes and no, because there's this modern women epidemic too now, right? So the modern woman, I want you to pay all my bills. I want you to do everything for me. I want you to get me a car, get me a house, buy me some bags, all of that stuff. And I'm just going to show up and look pretty. And there are so many videos on this topic, right? But men are saying, no, we're not doing that. There are way too many women out here for us to really have to live that way. Sorry, boo. Moving on. Challenge my mind, right? Bring something that's going to elevate me as an individual. And it's really interesting hearing men say that too. Not all men, of course, but it's a very, very interesting thing to hear. How can you help me grow as a person? And I believe everyone should be having that conversation. How can you grow me as a person? Why are you even around me if I can't grow from our interaction? Like, what is the point, right? But yeah, that's a great point that you just brought up. Women's suffrage changed a lot of things, like in a major way. Let's see. Let's see if I can find some more videos to put on here. I also know that women are kind of sick and tired, if you will. Sick and tired of being sick and tired, generally speaking. So you have men that don't want to do everything for a woman. You've got women that, Oh, this thing don't want me to show y'all nothing. Whatever. I want to show y'all these videos. It's making me sad. That's okay. We won't stress about it. No, we won't stress about it. Yeah, let's finish talking about it though. So, what do you think is worse? A modern single woman? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I won't do that. But I will say this. Women are really tired of footing the bill and just, I don't know. Thank you, Opulent Jade. I'm glad you can hear me clearly. You know, I strive with that kind of every week, wondering if it's sounding okay. Thank you. It's my mama, by the way, y'all. Hey, mama. Heart hands. Okay. So, excuse me. We're talking about modern women. We're talking about single moms versus married moms. We're talking about how children cause stress in relationships, whether you're together or not together. We are talking about premarital sex being against the law in Indonesia. Okay, it says you won't get arrested. Okay, but wait, what? You won't get arrested or you will get arrested? Oh, yes, you will. You will go to jail for up to 6 months for cohabitation. Oh my God, in Indonesia, you'll go to jail for 6 months for shacking up. That is crazy. And up to 1 year in jail for premarital sex. Listen, y'all, I need to hear this. Do y'all believe that they should pass those laws over here? And if they do you believe that the single parent epidemic will kind of fade out? Listen, I gotta tell you, I think that'll be the end of single parents if people go to jail for premarital sex and for cohabitation. And like I said, a lot of us end up in jail for having done these things in the past. But of course, that's not my reason for choosing to stay out of relationships and raise my children. Hey, Lady Navoa. Glad to see you here. Hey. Okay, so Opulent Jade says yes and yes. People will absolutely stop becoming single parents. And Strolling Through says I'm 50-50. Well, tell me a little more about being 50-50 on that. Now, I believe, right, that if people are not having premarital sex, they will have no choice but to get to know each other better, because we all know that sex clouds judgment. And just transparency here, I've been abstinent for over a year. Actually, I think I'm going on 2 years. And I mention that all the time because it makes a huge difference in the way I approach my thought process and the way I approach choosing a potential partner and the way I approach even how I parent my children. Like literally no distractions, at least not in that way. Like they distract me from each other, but that just kind of goes into the narrative that children are blockers, so to speak. They even block each other. So let's see. Joss says the trophy mentality has overwhelming proof to have been adopted and adapted from a very Western mentality. These are learned values and adapted behaviors that come from a Western war of the sexes. And that wasn't originally our war, was it? It came from some other folks who, have their own issues, right? That servitude within your relationship kind of thing was some other people's thing, right? Lady Navo says, hit that like button. Yes, absolutely hit that like button, because your likes mean more people. And more people means I can get paid. And me getting paid means y'all can see some more of this Savvy Essentials oil on your screen. And don't forget to email me if you are interested in your Savvy Essentials oil for your luscious, lovely locks. If you want to grow that beard hair, or if you just want to glow on a wonderful Sunday. Yeah, and it's 100% natural. Once again, not natural flavors and natural ingredients, but specifically vitamin D from sunflower oil and other plant-based extracts. So let me know. Getting back to these comments, let's see. Let's see. Yeah, thank you. I feel it, Jade. Hit like, subscribe, and share. Absolutely. So, yeah, so I'm not trying to go to jail. So maybe they shouldn't make that law. But as a person who's abstinent, it wouldn't affect me, but I know it would affect a whole lot of y'all. And I don't want y'all to go to jail. So maybe they shouldn't make that a law over here. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Now, I have been determined to play a video for you for the longest time, and unfortunately, this situation just does not want to show the videos that I want y'all to see, and that's okay. I'm not going to cry about it, at least not while I'm on camera, but I will do my best to get you all some better videos. I don't know, there's something about those visuals. It just seems like it just makes it a much better experience. So I will give you a little snippet of me on stage in some 6-inch heels, trying to keep my balance. Let me know what you think.
Liberalism of life and actuality. I boastfully approach you with your notion equals tragedy. Don't who's the baddest? I'll be the status on massive casualties. Sipping close to colors and calories. Taking my crown with ease. At ease, y'all simmer down for this delivery. Your style dead like chivalry. I'm pure about the image. And now you fix the crazy frenemies. It's all the instances. You better all be in the front of me. Cause I'm phenomenal. Listen, the hottest out is yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Started now. There ain't no getting past it. I speak the flame that leads the way to pass it.
Yeah. That was a fun day. Believe it or not, I was completely hoarse when I did that show. I think that was like right after the first time I had COVID. Anyway, Strolling Through says, I enjoy sex too much, but something needs to happen. Yeah, that's true. Because listen, first of all, we have a society of soy boys, and pull-out game has just become absolutely too weak. I don't know if that is just a weak core or low muscle tone amongst our fellas these days and our women. Maybe a lack of balance, if you will, right? Maybe a little bit out of balance, if you will, right? So, yeah, that was me, Lady Navoa, Queen Sanaa. Yes, ma'am. And if you look at my YouTube channel, actually, yeah, I should look at my YouTube channel. Put that in there. You can see some of my videos and some of my performances as well. So there we go. Let's take a look when you have some time. And yeah, you're right, Strolling Through. Something absolutely does need to happen. It's really bad. There's just a bunch of children running around without balance in the home, without balance in their village, without balance in the community. You've got all these programs to serve the children, but then when they go home, a lot of times they're going to the same circumstances that kind of cause the problems to begin with. And so, although being an exceptional child or a child with special needs is actually a thing, if the environment is not healthy, then the outcomes are not going to be healthy no matter what. And like Josh said, these children are the future, right? So more children know how to play Call of Duty, and they know more about camping than they do know about basic math skills or reading skills or just writing skills. You know what I mean? And that's super important. It's definitely up to the parents whether parents are single or not. But since this is an epidemic, we definitely want to teach them better, teach them a whole lot more than what they're learning right now. Thank you, Lady Navo, for subscribing. I hope you all choose to subscribe as well. It would just mean, I don't know, just so much to me. I'll just smile a whole lot more on this Sunday. So let me see. Hit you with a little bit of this. Give you another song. And I would love to hear more about what kind of songs you all like that I'm playing in the background. Just curating a show list. Mostly Queen Sanaa songs, though. This is the Just Live podcast. Grateful for everyone who has tuned in today. I really am. It means a lot to me. And thank you for your support, Lady Navo. Yeah, you always show up. Shout out to all my regulars. It's good to see you all out here. Very much. very, very much. It's one of my favorite songs, Revolution. So, let's see. Ja said, the link that I shared was a woman that spoke about the same males and females being complained about are coming out of single mother homes who can only teach their daughters their own learned experience and can only raise sons who are deeply out of balance. Yeah, see, that's why that village is so important, because where do you find the balance if there's not a man or a woman in the home? You go outdoors, you find people who are in balance, who do know how to support, who do know how to kind of, what's the word, fortify what's missing, provide what's missing. The big sign in my face, Lady Nouveau, that's just an overlay. That's my logo. Yeah, I gotta blast it from time to time. So y'all remember Queen Sanaa. Yeah, but you're absolutely right. It's definitely important to have that balance. So just a little bit about this song, since I can't play the video. This was during a time when everything was still shut down because of the pandemic, and also because of the murder of George Floyd. And there were protests going on at the time in Raleigh, North Carolina. So if you do, go to my YouTube channel. The video is Revolution, and we're just showing protests all over the world. We shot the video in Raleigh, North Carolina at the self-expression tunnel. A lot of ciphers go on there. So if you're ever in the Raleigh area when there's a cipher going on in the self-expression tunnel, you definitely have to check that out. That's on NC State's campus. A lot of good artists just come out and just do their thing. There's a lot of great art in that place. And this particular part of the song, I'm just kind of talking about learning who you are and changing the world with it. So just realizing that there's power within you, realizing that whatever you do should be about that power within you, and using that to turn everything around. And I know that a lot of people have not really experienced that self-love that lets them know that they're powerful, they're strong. And honestly, Ja and everyone else who kind of co-signed to this point, I believe that comes from how you were raised, what narratives you were shown growing up. How often were you told that you are somebody, that you're special? And how many more times did you hear, you look just like your mama, or you look just like your daddy, right? And which narrative kind of took root and was a part of who you became in life. So just a reminder, spread love, let people know that they matter. If you're a single parent, hang in there. It gets easier over time, or at least that's what they tell me. And if you have a friend who's a single parent, just, I don't know, give them some encouragement, show them some love. And if you can, be a part of that village, be a part of that support system. So I just want to thank you all for being a part of the Just Live podcast today. Today, I choose to live my life with love. That's how I choose to just live. I choose to amplify self-love, and I choose to use that and spread love to everyone around me, starting with the young people that I have been charged with raising, being a good steward over them and teaching them to be a good steward over others. And so we are going to end with my most recent single, Being in Love. And if you like that song, you can actually find it on queensanaa.com or qsqueensanaa.com. So just take a minute, go ahead and check that out, and you can actually purchase and download all of the music that you like from qsqueensanaa.com. And I'm looking forward to seeing you all next Sunday. I'll have another special show for you. And y'all take care.
I'm just being in love. 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 When I met you, I didn't care about love. Didn't think that I would ever fall in love. Didn't know that we were so compatible. Simple, letting go of what'll linger on the edge of our love. A metal line that tears apart, it tears apart. No, they don't know what it takes to be in love. They don't know what it takes to be in love. They don't know what it takes to be in love. Oh, we both know what it takes to be in love. They don't know what it takes. They don't know what it takes to be in love. They don't know what it takes to be in love. Oh, we both know what it takes. We both know what it takes to be in love. Gonna be in love. This is something I can't control it. How you feeling? I just can't call it. I just know how I feel inside. I got love on my mind. You know that I just adore you, and you know that I'll come before you. I just know how you feel inside. I got love on my mind. I'm just being in love. 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 I'm just being in love.